Because here is Brian Chambers. He's going to celebrate his win here at Michigan. He's going to do it in style with the burnout. Oh, Sturgill sliding in to celebrate as well. Alright guys, with that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have driver interviews. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Oh man, keep your chin up because, you know, completely different season. The next race you might face, and you never know what can happen. Race to race, you might find yourself having a stroke of good luck and green out to actually how to ride these cars. Go, man. Hello everyone and welcome to the Bristol Motor Speedway for the Output Racing 150 right here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. And we had an impromptu week off last week. Unfortunately, with the new build coming in, there was some issues with the UI, so not everyone was able to get in to participate in a race last week. So the late call was made to scrap Phoenix and move on to Bristol. It looks like the majority of the cars are sitting in the pit lane right now, possibly getting ready for a pit party. There's Mason Smalley in the 26. Just in front of him was the crashing Frank Isaacson. He's got Thad Fowler in front of him. There's Joe Slammer behind. Austin Merrow is another one on track as Thad drifts it into the pit lane. I think we're about to get going for a pit party here. Oh, Frank just absolutely rolled into the barrels there at the start of pit lane. There's a 9 Joe Slammer, the 4 Jaron Sanchez. As cars are starting to roll out onto the track in preparation of the pit party. Bristol Motor Speedway is so small that the drivers have to take a couple laps at it just to make sure everyone is all lined up. All right, there we go. The field will come out of turn 4. We'll get the green this time by. And they're off. And Mark Bentikoff already running into issues on the pit party start there. Immediately towed to the pits. It's looking like the bottom lane is going to be the preferred lane around here in these cars. Not to say that the top lane isn't viable, just the lower lane seems to be that little bit faster. As around goes multiple people, we have a pile up coming out of, what's that, turn number 2. It all started with Jaron going around the 92 mark of Chris Champeau checking up and then getting booped around. Not sure who booped him though. And that took out most of the field. There's Scott Rickard in the 05. He's running the high line. He's currently in the 7th position. Just behind him, Ken Campbell. And Ken down in 18th at the moment. Currently have 23 cars on track, strength of field 31-36. And we have a new driver in the midst, the 32 car there. See if we can find him again. There he is. And that is definitely one of the names for the ages. Oh, that's the wrong button. That's the one. Opliger. I'll have to ask him how to pronounce that one. Absolutely. Now, let's see. Is there any other new names that I don't recognize? No, that's it. Just the 32 car. There's a 2, Jonathan Hernandez going for a spin. He's currently on top. He set a time of a 14.542. There's Jonas Marquez. He's currently in P3. That fella currently P4. And Campbell's still buried down the field. Joe Farmer's not looking too bad. He's in P6. Just behind them is Austin Merrow, Thomas Harmon. Merrow is down in 17th as he goes for a spin. Harmon at P2. Oh, and that was a big hit there for both Slammer and Kraus. There's that fellow. As they currently P4 just in front of him. It's Travis Massia in 11th. Frank Isaacson in 19th. And not very long to go in this practice session. These guys are going to have to make sure they got a handle on this track fairly shortly. Oh, as Frank Isaacson goes for a spin down to the inside. Possible help from the 13 of Travis Massia. We now have 23 drivers in. 31.78 strength of field. Kyle McCoy has just entered the server. There's Thomas Harmon. I know Thomas is always strong on the low line around here. Oh, there's Smalley. Goes for a spin. That's on the front straight. Matt Horton in the 88 car. Yeah, there's not very much between Hernandez and Harmon. Both of them running the low line. They're separated by 0.033 of a second. As Sanchez has come into trouble with Andrew Griesbaum. We could possibly see the return of the bump and run around this Bristol Motor Speedway. Most people run on the low line. And Campbell down in 23rd. He's so far off the pace right now. But now we have less than a minute and a half to go before the end of practice, which means we are going to go into commercial breaks while qualifying is on. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More action from the Output Racing 150 right here for the Bristol Motor Speedway will be coming up shortly. Make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, qualifying is just about complete. Means we'll get our full order here in just a second. It's just swapped over into the race session. Jonathan Hernandez will be on the pole with Thomas Harmon on his outside. Then we'll have Kyle Kraus, Kyle McCoy, the two Kyles taking up row number 2. Row 3, we'll have TJ Crampton, Austin Collins. Row number 4, we'll have Matthew and Scott Rickard. Row 5, we'll have James Watson, Ken Campbell. Row number 6, we'll see Andrew Griesbaum and Corey Cook. Row 7, Chris Champeau and Mo. Just Mo. I didn't see Mo in practice. There's Frank Isaacson, Joe Slammer. Travis Massio, Thad Baylor. They take up the ninth row. 10th row, Mark Pentecoff, Jaron Sanchez. They are the last ones who put down qualifying laps. There's Matt Horton, Matt Sassola, although Sassola is currently on the grid just yet. And then it's going to be Austin Merrow and Jonas Marquez. And wrapping up the field will be Mason Smalley out of 25th. So there you go. That's your starters and drivers for the Output Racing 150 here from the Bristol Motor Speedway. So we get 2 pace laps and then we go green. That's just to make sure everyone is settled in their positions. This is a really good first 2 rows with Hernandez and Harmon, followed by the 2 Kyles, Kraus and McCoy. Crampton back there in 5th, and Collins in P6. The pace car is in, the first start is on green. All the restarts will be on the leader inside of the restart zone. And we're off and racing for the Output Racing 150 here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And already you can see that inside line is taking the advantage. Although Thomas Harmon not letting the outside fizzle out just yet. Look at the advantage he's got coming off the corner. All that momentum. I saw Thomas Harmon was working a lot on the high line around here in practice. I think it was just for this situation where he had no choice. As finally he gets Jonathan Hernandez cleared. And he will take himself to the lead. Let's go and look through the pack a little bit here. There's Ken Campbell getting around Scott Rickard on the outside. Austin Collins snugly into the 7th position. But he lost a couple off the start. Just in front of him, league rookie Matthew. As Austin's going to look to the inside of Matthew there. couldn't quite get the move done. There's a move being made back there a little bit. I think that might have been Grease Bomb. And it was Grease Bomb on the outside of Scott Rickard. At the same time, Austin going for the outside move on Matthew. And he's made that stick, so the outside line a little bit better than I initially thought. Just in practice, most people were running the low line, and the top time was set on the low line. But let's see if Austin can get his way through this field a little bit. Running the high line as Kyle McCoy starting to challenge for the lead. Thomas Harmon's on the outside line. He's got the momentum. McCoy trying to use the inside line there, get the grip up. Couldn't quite get there though. He's under threat from Hernandez, while still trying to attack Thomas Harmon. Look how much deeper into the corner he went. Oh, that's Crampton. Out of shape. He saved it. And we didn't get a caution from it. Crampton just dropped a lot of positions there. He's all the way down in the 9th position. You know, that's 8th, my apologies. Did drop to 9th at one point though. But he managed to get it back on Scott Rickard. Going back to the front. And McCoy has taken the lead. And he's starting to pull a little bit of a gap here over Thomas Harmon, our Bristol specialist. And Austin Collins has made his way up into 3rd. Oh, and Pentecost in the pits. I heard his engine go bang. Oh, he's got a lot of front end damage there. Let's see what happened to Mark. Oh, and he just got loose. Smashed into the inside barrier there. And then he hit the eject button. And that's when his engine blew. We go back to live pictures. That's Griesbaum and Chris Champeau battling out side by side. They're battling for 10th. Looks like Griesbaum's got the advantage in that one. Going back towards the front, Thomas Harmon. Looks like he's just managing the gap between himself and McCoy at the moment. Everyone running just about half a car width off the very inside. As James Watson starting to lose out on a couple of positions here. Kraus went around him, Matthew went around him, Scott is on the outside of him, about to go around him. I'm not sure if James has hit the wall at some point and he's got some damage. But he lost out on a lot of positions there. Even the guys on the inside line are very quickly catching him. As we go back to just random focus. See what we can see. And these are all the guys that are behind Watson at the moment. Looks like Watson has got his groove back. Although there's a lot of people still flying around the outside of him. Not sure what's going on there for the 39 Team Watson Racing setups car. There's Joe Swarmer about to go around his outside. 25 laps in the books of this 150 lap race. The 25 cars enter this race. Strength of field 31.92. And it's like Mark Pentakoff is so far our only retirement. And Sassola did make the call. He's currently in P16. I just saw. He's about to work on the outside of Ken Campbell, who I'm sure is racing shirtless so he doesn't choke. And Thomas Harmon starting to reel in the gap between himself and McCoy. McCoy started running the high line here. Harmon has just been closing the gap. It has gone back out to 0.4 of a second. And I'm actually really surprised that we haven't seen a caution yet. There was a lot of slipping and sliding throughout practice. Harmon is right there on Kyle's ass. Kyle trying to use that high line to pull away from Thomas, but Thomas, the master of the low line. As he sends it in, he's right on the left rear of McCoy now. McCoy did run a slightly lower line there, trying to block Thomas a little bit as they just about come to contact coming out of turn 2. There's a great little battle here for the lead. Harmon led that lap as they catch up to the first of the lap cars. That is Smalley. And Smalley's had an incident. I think he's gotten into the fence at some point. We'll probably see Smalley on the pit lane here before too long. McCoy once again with the advantage now in this battle for the lead. Sorry, McCoy with the advantage in the battle. Pretty sure I said Smalley. That's a mistake. But nose to tail they go. McCoy still trusting in that high line. And Thomas pulling out all the stops on the low line. Thomas going for big dives there. The field is pretty strung out at the moment. So if we were to get a crash, I doubt that we'd have a big track blocking one like we did all the way back in season 2 in the trucks. Oh, that was close. Thomas got a little bit loose. He turned it down pretty hard, trying to stay off of the 16 car there. I think Smalley is unlucky. I think he's the only car with a pit bay on the back straight. And Smalley is now out of the race. That's now 2 DNFs from the racing action. As side by side, McCoy and Harmon go once more. Hernandez sitting back there in third. He looks like he's just looking after his stuff. Not pushing overly hard here. While these two battle it out furiously. Harmon trying to dump all the air onto McCoy's spoiler. And Harmon just edging his nose ahead. McCoy just edging him back. They're about to enter lap traffic. There's Isaacson and Marquez just up the road here. And they're both running the high line. As Harmon now takes the advantage. I think McCoy got a little bit unsettled. Drop back in behind him. Now what's going to happen as they enter lap traffic. As I said, Harmon is typically the master of the low line around here. I think with how much high line running McCoy has done, he's not quite as used to the low line as what, say, Harmon. Oh, there's a spin! McCoy went around. Caution is out. Let's have a look back at this one and slow it down. You see McCoy was coming up there as Frank came off the corner, and I think McCoy just misjudged it a little bit, came too far up. And around he goes off the nose of Frank Isaacson there. That is unfortunate for both those drivers, but that is also our first caution of the race on lap, I think that's 49. Oh, there's big damage on the McCoy car. And not so much on the Isaacson car, which is good. But with that, we are going to go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we'll see the results of pit stops. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More action coming up shortly. And welcome back to the Bristol Motor Speedway for the Output Racing 150 here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. And Jonathan Hernandez was able to get in and out of pits the fastest. He has taken the lead. Here's our top 10 as they stand. Hernandez, Harmon, Collins, Crampton, Kraus, Matthew, Champo, Griesbaum, Slama, and Cook. And we currently have 3 retirements now. Thad Baylor, during the caution there, came to the pits and taking himself out of the race as the pace car is in. And what a jump there for Jonathan Hernandez. Now the restarts are on the leader inside of the restart zone. Hernandez played that one perfectly, and he will pull away from Thomas Harmon. But let's see what's going on through the pack, because cautions usually breed cautions. especially with the fact that everyone pitted. And we only have 2 cars 1 lap down, and that is both our cars that were involved in that first incident. And that's McCoy and Isaacson, respectively. Hernandez leading from Harmer, and then Matthew, who has made his way up in the third. I really don't want to butcher Matthew's last name. I had 1 attempt, and that was it. I've seen lots of incidents popping up as well. So I'm assuming that a lot of people have gotten into the fence since the restart. We had 3 retirements in a row, so I'm not sure what happened to Thad that caused him to say that was it. That's enough. We're currently looking at Griezmann. He's trying to work his way through the top 10. He's currently side by side with James Watson for the 9th position. The racing is very intense around here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Lots of dipping and diving. And Austin Collins, I just noticed, is right back here in 7th as well. He'll want to be a little bit further up the field. But for the most part, it looks like we are safe from cautions, as we have a lot of very good steerers in this league. And no one wants to make any silly moves just yet. Let's have a look back at our leaders, see how they're getting on. As Hernandez leading the way, Thomas Harmon, Matthew back there in 3rd in the 32 car. Side by side for 4th is Chris Champeau and TJ Crampton. But it looks like Champeau just took the advantage there on the outside line. And he did. Champeau pushing for everything he's got right now. I just saw a car behind them get loose. Not sure who that was. It might have been Slama. As I hit the wrong button. No, it wasn't Slama, it was Kraus. In that maroon number 7 car. He was running the middle lane. I saw him get loose and slide up. But no harm, no foul play on. And now Kraus all over the tail of Austin Collins. Let's check in on our 2 lap down cars here. They're both well off the back of the field. And looks like McCoy has gotten most of the damage fixed. Still got some pretty severe rear end damage there. He's missing his deck lid. And he's letting Isaacson pull away from him a little bit here. And they'll both be hoping for a caution. McCoy so he can get more damage fixed, and Isaacson so he can get back on the lead lap. We go back to our everything focus. And see Austin Collins trying to work on the outside of the 72. That's Crampton. And now Crampton is losing out on a few positions. We've reached the halfway point. 75 down, 75 to go. These laps ticking down very quickly. But it could all descend into chaos in the matter of seconds. All it takes is for one person to get loose at the wrong time. And we could have a 15-car pile-up. This league knows what it's like to have a 15-car pile-up. Especially around Bristol. As Harmon and Hernandez battling it out over the lead. And it looks like Harmon has taken the advantage. He ran the high line, took it away from Hernandez. And Hernandez will have to try and battle back. Still plenty of battles going on behind these guys. I can see Kyle Kraus trying to make the high line work on Matthew there. That'll be for the 4th position. Austin right there behind them as well. And it looks like Frank Isaacson has actually caught up to the back of the pack. So Isaacson putting in some damn good laps right now. In fact, he is the fastest car on the last completed lap. But he was running even faster than the leaders. It seems like most people choosing to run the high line now. I do say most because our leader's still running the bottom. As they're catching up to Kyle McCoy to put him a second lap down. Frank Isaacson still putting in some banger laps. The last lap, the fastest lap, was done by Corey Cook. The fastest lap overall was done by that 16 car with a 14.947. As he now goes a second lap down. Things have definitely calmed out here. And with that pit stop happening at about a quarter of the way through this race, maybe even a third of the way through. No, it was a third of the way through. Probably won't be expecting too many to want to come in for a green flag stop. Not sure what the fuel life is like around here, but I know it's it can be pretty big if you play your cards right. I don't think anyone is playing the conservation mode. We go back to looking at anything and everything. There's a 72, TJ Crampton. He's currently in P7. He's got the league rookie Matthew right behind him. Now we focus on Austin Collins. He is in P5. It's a handy little P5 for him. He's got Mo right behind him, Kyle in front of him. He's trying to make any inroads on Kyle he can. The field's starting to string out once more. We got cars on 2/3 of the track by the looks of things. Only 1/3 of the track left uncovered by cars. As we're reaching closer to 2/3 distance. Laps ticking away very quickly, as they should, as we're doing about 16 seconds per lap at the moment. So it's just under 4 laps per minute. Means we have about 14.5 minutes left of racing if we stay green the whole time. But this is a tight little battle pack. As Austin Collins is going to pull the trigger, he's going to look low on Kyle Kraus. And that could be to his detriment, as now he can't get back up. Mo's going to take advantage of that. Oh, Kraus did get the wall. But now Austin will start falling back here a little bit. There is a gap in front of Crampton. He takes it. But he did lose out on the one spot there to Mo. But now we are 100 laps into the books. Leader has caught up to lap traffic once more. But we are going to go, I think, to a commercial break. And when we come back, we will be going to the check flag. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More action from the Output Racing 150 coming up shortly. Welcome back to the Output Racing 150 here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League at the Bristol Motor Speedway. As you can see, our leader Thomas Harmon just dealing with the lap traffic quite nicely, putting Kyle McCoy a 3rd lap down. Frank Isaacson has gone a 2nd lap down, and Marquez and Mero have both gone a lap down as well. But for a brief moment there was a couple of lap cars separating Harmon from Hernandez. The gap is out to about a 2nd. And Harmon just doing everything he can to hold off the charge from Hernandez. Although if we get another caution, Hernandez will be in the box seat because he's got that #1 pit stall. And he proved that it's already very worth it on cautions, getting in and out quickly. We go back to focusing through the field. Look at this melee right here. McCoy jumping onto the apron just so he's out of the way. Looks like the other lap cars were not so lucky, as there's a lot of 2x2 going on, nearly 3 wide in some situations. And oh, I think that's someone there experimenting with some alternate dimensions. I think that's Mero. But lap traffic definitely cause a bit of a kerfuffle here in the mid packs. Chris Champeau has emerged out of. Oh! That's Austin Collins. He's caused a big one. Caution's out. People still piling in. Let's have a look at what happened here. Oh, Austin got loose. We have to go back a little bit further. So as they come out of, what's this? I think this is turn 2. Kyle's bounced off the fence. Oh, and into Austin. So Kyle bounced off the fence into Austin. Austin got shoved down to the inside fence. This is not a great camera angle. And he's on the brakes, trying not to slide back up. He gets off it to try and turn. Oh, Mo, nowhere to go, straight into him. The 9, Joe Slama into him. There's Mero on the outside, Griesbaum on the inside. The 64, Marquez, got a little piece of that as well. Somehow, Isaacson escaped all that without hitting anyone. Same too for the 15 of Campbell. And car's still coming in. There is the 05 of Scott Rickard. And Rickard, oh, he stopped in time. But Sanchez said, "You're getting into this, buddy." But there's a lot of damaged cars out of that one. See them going through the pit lane now. Oh, and I'm not sure what exactly happened there. I lost all picture for a second. Where's our leaders? There they are. And Thomas Harmon was able to get out first. What's going on with the 2 car? He's still in the pits. Jonathan Hernandez losing out on a bucket load of positions here. Hernandez. That is very unfortunate. He came into the pits in P2. And he's definitely not going to be P2 on the way out. In fact, he's going to be right down towards the back of the pack here. But let's see if we can't grab a quick interview with Austin here. Hey, Austin, Corey up in the booth.
I'd like to see that. I'm not gonna
Do you have a copy?
I'm not gonna lie.
I hear you. How's it going?
Not too bad, mate. It looks like you are going to be out of this race. What happened there from your perspective?
Just trying to Bristol, just trying to get around people. I know Kyle was kind of holding us up there, and I was trying to make a move, and I don't know. He said it was on him, but I kind of feel like it was on me as well. So I don't know. It's been the story of my season so far. So
All right, real
pack
quick
them up.
before
We'll
we go
head to
back
bed,
around
and
here. Anyone you want to say a quick shout out to?
everybody that has anything to do with the league and helps us run it.
All right, thank you very much, Austin, and
Yep,
good
have a
luck
good
in the
one,
next
Corey.
one.
Sir.
All right, that was a very quick interview there with Austin Collins as we are about to go back to green. Thomas Harmon chose the outside, and he'll run with it. Someone who's going to benefit from this, the 72, TJ Crampton, started behind our 38 machine there, and he will take over second. Right behind them, still side by side. Oh, this is Matthew and Chris Champeau. And there's a slide in the back. That looked like the 9. It was. Caution is out once more. Corey Cook is involved in this one. Let's see what happens here. The Slammer and Cook were battling it out side by side. And Slammer just gets loose on entry to the corner. Starts to slide. Cook nowhere to go. Gets into him. And then that's the 88 Matt Horton that finished Corey Cook off there. And that's actually quite heavy contact these two had. There's a bit of damage on that 88 machine. And everyone else managing to miss it there. The Slammer will have to come in and get some repairs done. And we'll wait for him to get into his pit box. And we'll see if we can drag him in for a chat. All right, there we go. Hey, Joe, it's Corey up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I gotcha.
Looked like you got a little bit loose on entry there, causing that incident. Am I pretty spot on with that assessment there, mate?
Yeah, you called it. Just drove it in a little bit too hard there and got a little loose and took her around.
Is it just the intensity of these restarts? Because it looks like with every restart we get, especially as the laps get on, the racing intensity is starting to pick up a little bit.
Yeah, it's if you don't push, then you're gonna lose spots. So I was just trying to maintain there and just overdid a little bit, but we'll go back at it.
All right. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before I let you go?
Oh yeah, just everyone here at Output and you for broadcasting. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks very much, man. Good luck for the rest of the race.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That was Joe Slama, the number 9 car. And he called it there. You just got to push when it comes to these restarts. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for him in that situation. But what this does mean is very little amount of people came in for a pit stop. And I'm just having a look through. And we've got 5 DNFs in this race now. Frank Isaacson is the first car 1 lap down. Going green this time by. So it's Harmon, Crampton, Champeau, Matthew, Moe, Campbell, Watson, Horton, Sanchez, and Kraus as your top 10. DNFs are Austin Collins, Andrew Griesbaum, Thad Paylor, Mason Smalley, and Mark Pentacuff. The pace car is in. And we're running once more. And not a great restart there for the 72 car of Crampton. He bogged down big time and he's fallen back to 3rd already. He's going to have to push really hard if he wants to try and get back up. Oh, but he's gotten loose. And he's gone around. Another caution out. Scott Rickard involved in another one. Let's see if we can get this one. You see, as Joe Slama was just saying, you got to push so hard on these restarts. That's exactly what Crampton did here. He pushed so hard. He got sideways. He tried to save it. Oh, a little bit of contact there with the 39 car. Mo nowhere to go. Watson's in the fence. Kraus pushed by Mo into the fence. Corey Cook just missing it. Scott Rickard. I feel so bad for him. Nowhere to go. And let's see the damage on the Kraus car. Yep. It's there. Wow, another one. Let's see if we can get the 05 of Scott Rickard in for an interview here. See what he's got to say about it. Oh, he's on pit entry. We'll give him a second here to get all the way into his pit box. What this does mean is Frank Isaacson is the lucky dog wave around, and he will now be back on the lead lap after being involved in that first incident. And here we go. Scott Rickard, Corey up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
Now, you just seem to be the unfortunate punching bag in all of these incidents, getting the innocent party involved in. What's it like out there, mate?
I hate this track with a passion.
I
I'd
don't
rather be on
blame
dirt.
you. I really don't blame you. On that second caution, it
I've
looks
never
like
liked
you were
this
pushed
track, and I
into
don't
it.
think it. I think it knows that.
Yeah, on that second incident, it looks like you were pushed into it. This time, just nowhere for you to go. It's just one of those tracks where if anything happens, it will. But before we let you go here, Scott, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Hey, everybody in the league puts on. Like the league, don't like the track. It may not this guy in front of me, even though he's my teammate technically.
Do it. But thank you for your time, Scott. And hopefully the rest of the race goes a little bit better for you.
Probably not. It's Bristol. I expect this.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Yep.
All right, guys. That's Scott Rickard. A very abysmal feeling here for Scott Rickard. Let's go back up towards the front. Thomas Harmon has chosen the outside line. This time Matthews on the inside, which means Chris Champeau will have the advantage here on the restart. And I think I see a Jaron Sanchez all the way up there in P7 at the moment. The top 10 really quick. Harmon, Matthew, Champeau, Campbell, Watson, Horton, Sanchez, Hernandez, Cook, and Massia as the pace car is going to go in. And we're racing.
Green flag.
A better restart on the inside line. A horrible restart there for Chris Champeau. I thought he was going to take advantage of starting behind Harmon, but that was not to be. I think this is the first time the person starting second has retained second on a restart from Thomas Harmon. But let's see if we get another caution out of this caution. There's Mo at the back. He's gone a lap down. He's the only person a lap down at the moment. There's Joe Slama. He's trying to work his way back through the field. Corey Cook, who's been involved in a couple of incidents. He's currently in the top 5. Or he was currently in the top 5. He's down in 8th now. There's James Watson. He is in P6. Corey Cook's moved up 1. Jonathan Hernandez, after his really slow stop, is back up in the 8th after restarting down the field. Now we've got Jonas Marquez in the pits. That's unfortunate. Even more unfortunate, looks like he's pitting on the back straight. The things seem to have calmed down here a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. Everyone's starting to drive within their capabilities. After a couple of cautions of people pushing too hard, or insane that the 92 Chris Champeau has got very loose coming off the corner. He's lost out on a couple of spots there. He's trying to do what he can on the inside line here. Corey Cook trying to get around him. We've got 10 laps to go. And I think something just happened to Thomas Harmon. Thomas has dropped a few spots here. Matthew and Campbell. Oh! Horton getting into Harmon. And that's just ruined the race for Harmon. We saw Horton's front bumper fly off. I think it came back. It did. But Horton trying to push his way through to the front. Ken Campbell has the lead of the race at the moment. He's just taken it off of Matthew. Back in third is Chris Champeau. We have a caution. And it's Thomas Harmon. Oh no, let's see what's happened to Thomas here. Oh, Sanchez came in on the low line. Harmon coming down, probably wasn't expecting him there. Tapped him on the front. Both of them have gone for a slide. Around goes Harmon as he gassed it up to try and keep it off the fence. Looks like Sanchez was able to recover. Does anyone hit Harmon? No. But that is the 5th caution of this race. Let's see if we can grab a quick chat here to Thomas Harmon. Hey, Thomas, Corey up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Okay.
It looked like you might not have gotten a radio call there for Jaron on your inside as he was coming into the corner. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, I didn't expect him to be down there. I was just trying to get to pit road because I got a meatball. So.
Yeah, I saw you starting to lose some positions there before you got the tap from Horton. What happened to make you lose the lead?
I got a little loose, and then me and 32 made a little bit of contact, but.
All right, well, before we let you go here, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Not at the moment.
All right, no worries. Hopefully the damage isn't too bad, and we can see you back out there for the end of this race.
Yep, I'll be out there.
All right, thank you for your time, Thomas. All right, so that was the 38 Thomas Harmon, and as you can tell, he's not in a great mood. Very small amount of required damage there by the looks of things. But this is our leader, Ken Campbell. And it looks like we are going to be heading towards having a green-white checkered finish here. And it'll be our first of 2 attempts of a green-white checkered finish. Let's bring up our top 10 while we've got time. Campbell, Matthew, there's Chris Champeau, James Watson, Corey Cook, Matt Horton in P6. Hernandez has fought his way back up to 7th. Slama, Masia, and Sasola. As it looks like the 15 of Campbell going to choose the outside line for the restart here. And he's definitely hoping that he's running shirtless so he doesn't choke on this restart. Because it is our first of 2 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. James Watson right behind him. This will be a great opportunity for Watson to try and take over second. And these guys will be hoping that we don't get another caution here. So here we go. The first attempt at a green-white checkered finish. And we're off. Great restart there for the 15 of Campbell. And great restart also for the 39 of James Watson. He's going to try and take away second from Matthew, but Matthew pushing really hard there on the inside line. As they come out of turn 3 and 4, will we get the white flag or will we get a caution? It's white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it. And it looks like Ken Campbell will have this one all sewn up. The battle will be for P2. But that is all null and void as we come out of turn number 4 for the final time. Your winner of the Bristol race here with the 15 of Ken Campbell. P2 will go to Wade James Watson. P3 to our newcomer, Matthew. Chris Champeau 4th, Matt Horton 5th, Joe Slama P6, Corey Cook 7th, Jonathan Hernandez 8th, Matt Sasola 9th, Travis Massier in 10th. And it's Rickard Isaacson, Kraus, Harmon, Crampton, Mo, and then Mero, McCoy, Sanchez, Marquez, Collins, Griesbaum, Fallor, Pensacuff, and Smalley. So that is not how they fell out of the race. You see Ken Campbell very excited to get the win. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break here, and when we come back, we will have driver interviews. Alrighty, it is now time for our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner. And tonight's Hard Charger is someone we've already spoken to tonight for a crash. But this time he has come in with plus 10 for the race. Started 16th, finishing MP6. It is the 9 of Joe Slama. And Joe, as I'm on the wrong car. I forgot to change car. There we go. Joe, I just talked to you a few laps ago. Well, what felt like a few laps ago for you having a spin, but you managed to recover from that and fight your way back up through for a nice P6 finish there.
Yeah, man, I just had a couple lucky restarts there and was able to miss the next big wreck. I think it was TJ's wreck, and gain a few spots there, and just starting on the outside really helped a lot as well. So that kind of gets you a few spots each restart, and just things fell my way, and luckily didn't get any damage when I spun myself out and did a full 360. No one hit me, so I was able to just get a few seconds of damage repair and fight my way back up. And yeah, it was a fun race, tough race, but glad it ended how it did.
Yeah, it's definitely very lucky. But let's talk about early in the race. We had a really good run there. How was the car feeling as we went through that first 50 laps caution free?
Yeah, the both of the long runs we had there, right as the right about when the caution came out was when my car started to come in and I was starting to gain spots. So I didn't want to see those cautions there. I'd rather it have gone green because I think I could have made up some ground. But if you just kind of were patient and I rode the bottom the whole time, it seemed to save the tires a little bit better, and you could start to make moves after about 50 laps.
All right, now let's talk about the last restart there. Obviously, our Bristol specialist Thomas was down at the back, and it's just a green white checkered finish. What was it like for you trying to deal with those last couple of laps there?
Yeah, I got lucky with an outside start and just followed Matt the whole time around and ended up gaining I think 2 spots on the restart there, and just worked out great for me and passed Corey right there in the last corner for sixth.
All right, now let's look forward towards next week. And next week, we're going to be going to Road America, our first road course of the season. What's it feeling like for you as we head to Road America?
Oh man, I like road racing, but I don't know if my finishes are super strong at them. Still working on them, so if I can squeeze in a top 10, I'll be happy with it.
All right, Joe, before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Everyone here at Output and you guys for broadcasting the races, appreciate it.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Joe. Congratulations on coming home with the Hard Charger Award. Look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Road America.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, guys, that was Joe Slama, the driver of the number 9 car, our Hard Charger Award winner. Coming up next, we have our league rookie. And there we go. It finally let me drag him. And he is our third place getter. So let's all welcome the 32 of Matthew Opliger. Matthew, P3 on debut. Definitely nothing to sneeze at, especially around the concrete hell that we know as Bristol.
Yeah, that was certainly an experience. Just had to save on the bottom for like 75% of the run and then go to the top, and that's the only way to pass. So it was tough.
It looked like you got the advantage on the restarts quite a bit, starting in the outside lane. For a few of those later ones, what was it like just trying to deal with inside versus outside on the restarts there, especially late in the race?
Starting on the end, or restarting on the inside, I just try to stick to the whoever the guy on the outside is to me, and just stick to them as much as possible, and then force them to use the top lane more, and hope they get a bad exit. But using the outside is obviously way better. Uh, if you know how to pinch the guy on the bottom.
All right, now let's talk about just that last restart, the green white checkered finish. It was a very intense battle between yourself and James Watson there, side by side for the entire 2 laps. What was it like just battling with him for those final couple of laps?
Yeah, it was kind of frustrating actually because I didn't get the best restart, and then I was like beside him, and I was hoping he could maybe like take out um Ken, and then maybe I could go through or something. But unfortunately, it didn't happen for me. But still P3 and fun, clean fight. So good way to go.
All right, now let's look forward towards next week, Matthew. Going to be going to our first road course of the season with Road America. What's the feeling like for you as we head to our first road course?
Well, one, I'm not even sure if I own the track, and two, I'm probably gonna be really bad. But hopefully, if I do buy the track, hopefully I can learn it quickly and utilize that practice into the race.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on coming home P3 on debut. But before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Matt Sisler, he's kind of invited me to the league, and although he didn't have like the best run today, me and him were talking. We just always have good fun in these league races, so yeah.
All right, well, again, thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on P3 on debut. Look forward to seeing what we can do if you are there next week for Road America.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was our third place getter, league rookie, Matthew Opliger. And I asked him before the interview how to pronounce his name, so I know I'm not butchering it. Coming up next, we are going to have our second place getter. And today's second place getter is the 39 of James Watson. James, finally a race that went your way.
Yeah, kind of this season and Bristol in general. I've had a few good runs here, prior races in this league, but for one reason or another, just didn't end up getting the result. But this time, finally caught a whole bunch of breaks with narrowly avoiding about 1,000 wrecks. I saw the size of way too many cars and lived to tell the tale, which is not common at this place. Usually, you see one car broadside, and you don't see any more cars after that.
Well, survival is key around here. And, between here on the Tuesday nights and even the Thursday night Reverb series, you just haven't really been having the kind of luck that we expect to see you have this early in the season. But maybe this is the sign of things starting to look up for you.
Yeah, hopefully. When I was putting around in 14th tonight, I was getting really nervous because after getting caught up in the wreck after the wreck at New Atlanta and just being trash at Vegas a couple weeks ago, another bad finish would have killed my playoff hopes, especially bad finish at my best track on the schedule. So the fact that I was able to lot of breaks to get back to a P3 and get some very important points. That's huge.
All right, now let's talk about that final restart. And it was quite the intense battle between yourself and Matthew. What was it like battling with him side by side for those final couple of laps?
It was good. It was it got a little nerve wracking because I went in, I think turn two or turn three with 2 to go, and the rear kind of kicked out a bit, so I wasn't entirely sure how that was going to end. But thankfully, I managed to gather it, keep it together, and hold on to it. Yeah, it was a fun battle, but I was so excited when I realized I was gonna be restarting because I'm like, oh boy, I think I just got handed P2.
All right, now let's look forward towards next week. Going to be going to our first road course on the schedule with Road America. What's the feeling like for you as we head to our first road course?
I'm so looking forward to it. Short tracks and road courses are the only things I seem to be worth a damn uh, in stock cars in. So um, having a short track one week and then a road course the next week, this hopefully will be a good stretch of races to help get myself back into serious playoff contention. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, now before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yes, sir. Gotta thank Team Watson Racing Setups. Use code Wattsman39 for 10% off at checkout. Gotta thank Chris Graham and the National Racing Network, Boomer Bunt Boxes, Martin Sports Sim Racing Apparel, and ZAS Designs and DZV Designs for putting together my paint schemes.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, James. Congratulations on coming home P2, and we look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Road America.
Dude, thanks, Corey.
All right, guys, that was our second place getter, the 39 of James Watson. Coming up next, we have tonight's winner, and I'm sure he was racing shirtless tonight, so he didn't choke. It is the 15 of Ken Campbell. Ken, you got lucky at the right time, mate, and come out of this with the big W next to your name.
Yeah. Lucky at the right time was definitely it. I think there were several of the right times actually. I was just plain slow there at the beginning. I was trying to save tires, and realized that I was, but at the same time, it's just because I was slower than I intended to be, and so missed a lot of the stuff that was up front earlier in the race. Kind of started to get it figured out, and was up there at the end, and then when the leaders got into it, was just fortunate enough to have a run and be on the outside at the same time, and was able to bring it home.
I guess another thing that really helped you there was the troubles that befell the 38 of Thomas Harmon, because without him dropping out of the race the way he did, you probably would have only been battling for a podium rather than a win.
Yeah, definitely. If you had the lead in the clean air and you were running the top line, there wasn't a whole lot people could do. I've got to go back and look and see. I didn't see exactly what happened. I know that they made contact and he went low and I was able to get around. But yeah, so if you were out front and didn't get loose or anything and just able to drive it through, that you were just in the catbird seat at that point. And so I was extremely fortunate that when they did make contact, instead of him coming back up the track, he was able to go low, and I was able to continue that run. Otherwise, Matthew would have just run away with it there.
All right, now let's talk about just that final restart there, coming to the green, white, checkered. What was the mindset for you coming into those final couple of laps?
Don't wreck. From the Winter League, I've had a couple of restarts where I've been at the front, either starting or like second or third, and I believe on more than one occasion I have looped it in front of the entire field, and that is where your soundbite came from. So right before we were coming to green, just kind of tugged down on the shirt a little bit, make sure I had plenty of breathing room, and wanted to go early because I didn't want to stack the field up or anything like that, and I didn't want him to be able to time it. So I was just going to go as early as I could and just rip the fence. And I got a little hesitant going into one, to be honest. And he was going to get a run on me that I saw. And I think if James doesn't come up and they stay too wide, I think if he's able to go all the way to the wall and have a better exit and then a better entry, it might have been a little bit harder for me. But once I saw James had him on the outside and was too wide, I could just kind of, pull the shirt down and breathe just a little bit better. Hell, I need to start wearing V-necks or something. So at that point I had it. I thought I had underdrove it so bad going into one that I just given it away in a completely different way. But But we were able to keep it straight and bring it home, and a very big sigh of relief when it was over.
All right, now let's look forward towards next week. We're going to be going to Road America. So what's the feeling like for you as we head to our first road course of the season?
I hate road courses, mainly because I'm bad at them. So step one is going to be buying Road America because I don't own the track. And step two is going to be lots and lots of YouTube videos, I imagine.
All right. Well, the second person in the top three that has to buy the track before we go there. But congratulations on coming home with the win here tonight. Before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah. First and foremost, as always, thanks to my wife and kids for supporting me at everything that I do. The admins and all the drivers here at Output, it's very hard but very clean racing. The guys give it everything they've got. Sometimes mistakes happen, but people own up to it, right? And I don't think anybody walks away super angry. And so it's a really good group of guys to come and race hard and know that you're able to do that. But at the same time, everybody's very friendly, and you can walk away from it and be like, we'll get them next time. James and everybody over at Team Watson for their support. Really enjoy running their setups and officials when I'm not doing the league stuff. So if that's more your thing, check it out. And you up in the booth.
All right. Well, once again, thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on coming home with the win. And we look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Road America.
I appreciate it.
All right, guys. That was tonight's winner, the 15 of Ken Campbell. But that is going to wrap things up for us here tonight. Thank you all for coming out and watching. And don't forget, the replay of this will be up on YouTube at the same time tomorrow. So until next week when we go to Road America, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator, and we'll see you guys in Wisconsin.